Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name's Anya. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below because then you'll be able to see all of the videos that I post and anything else that I may want to throw at you guys. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I know I did like a short pixie cut before, but today I'm actually going to show y'all how I lay my lace fronts. Now this is 150% beginner friendly. Let me turn this off. It's probably annoying. This is 150% beginner friendly because I'm not no expert at laying no lace front. I don't wear them all the time. I just had a short cut. We're in the middle of a quarantine and I need to make sure that my hair is laid the best way possible. So I'm just going to show you guys what I normally do. Again, disclaimer, y'all may have different ways of how y'all do it, or if you're really good at it and you wear them all the time, that's fine. This is the way I personally do it, and it may also be beneficial to somebody else that may want an easier way of making sure their hair still looks good even though that they don't got time to be plucking and tweezing and all of that. Now with that being said, I do have, all over the place. I do have this wig that I did kind of already pre-pluck. Obviously you see I wore it because you see the lace is already kind of cut. But yeah, this is a wig that I already had. I just washed it. It's inside of like a little bun right now because I did wear it yesterday because I needed to go out the house and I didn't want to look crazy. So I put this on my head and then I just put a hat on over top just to do like a little quick out the house thing. But yeah, so I already pre-plucked this. So it kind of looks natural. I'm not going to go over that part in the video. What I am going to go over is just how I personally like lay my little lace frontals down. And the first step that I would say, wash, blow dry your hair, and if you can braid it. Again, I had a pixie cut, so I don't like, and I have nails on, so I can't really grip my hair. Certain parts of my hair were shaved and it's like growing out. The front is like a little bit more longer, but if you can braid it down, and if not, just make sure your hair is like clean, wash, oil, slick back, and then go ahead and put your little hair stocking cap on. And I'm using this one. Normally I use one that's a little tan, but I wanted to see the way that this one comes out today and just kind of pull it down a little bit, like kind of towards your eyebrows, because this little part right here you do not want on your hairline, because this is where you're going to put the products at so that it sticks and you can blow dry it, and all of this is going to be cut away. So you want to have it kind of like pulled down a little bit, kind of like that, so that you can still see your hairline along here. And then make sure that this is like really flat, because you don't want no lumps or no bumps in your wig or be looking like you have an egghead. So yeah, this is what you want it to look like, kind of like right touching your eyebrows, the end of it. And yeah, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is actually cut a little hole into the stocking cap, and then I'm going to pull my ear through this little hole. You know, stretch it out if you need to. Some people's ears are bigger than others. And then kind of just make it so that your ear is like out of the hole. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And make sure you don't hurt yourself. Cut it before if you're clumsy. And yeah, just pull your ear through the little hole right here. And you should look like this. You should look like this right about now. Crazy. But yeah, that's the first step that you want to do. And there's a reason for that. You'll see that later. Now, I'm actually going to be using Gorilla Snot because I ran out of my Got2b glue. But I would suggest using the Got2b glue with the black, it's like a black bottle and it's like silver. It has like a little silver top. But I'm going to use this because I ran out of it when I was like applying and doing everything that I want to do with my wig. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Gorilla Snot. And I'm just going to place that like right where you see your hairline is where you want to place that at. Gonna pull this down. And make sure you're pressing it in too. Don't just like be scared of it. Like, see how it's kind of like showing my skin at this point? Or it's like kind of seeping in. That's what you really want it to do. You can also use the yellow Got2b glue if you have it. I just don't like using that one because it's kind of white and I just like it already being clear. So I personally don't use that one, but a lot of people use it. So hey, I just don't, but don't knock it till you try it. You won't know if you really like it until you try it yourself. You want to make sure that you're putting this all the way like to the end of your ear. That's important. So we're just gonna go ahead, take the Got2b glue and just smear that baby down, all the way down to your ear. So you're just gonna go ahead and do that. And then I like to kind of start going into my hairline as well. You can hear this thing. I have more than enough in here. I don't know why I have to keep shaking it like it's empty, but it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I like to go ahead and start going into my hairline like this.
Now you want to take a rat tooth comb after you're done applying and kind of just really rub in the product onto your wig cap. It just really helps with applying later on down the line. You kind of just want to smooth out all of that product and just make sure that it makes your cap look really transparent as it's going on your head, so that way you don't have any issues later on down the line. Now I suggest you getting some Got2b glue hairspray, because this, honey, make sure that your lace wig is laid with the application. You want to go ahead and spray that over top of where you either put your Got2b glue or your Gorilla Snot, just because it makes it really sticky and really tacky. And when it comes down to drying and it comes down to your application, this is like ultimately key, because it really makes sure that it doesn't lift and it stays, because it kind of seals it all the way down. After that, you're going to do the same exact thing with that rat tail tooth comb that you did before, and this just really helps with making the cap very transparent with your skin, which is exactly what you need to make sure your frontal looks amazing. Now go ahead and get you a blow dryer. You want to put your blow dryer on high, but then not only on high, you also want to put your blow dryer on cool. You do not want to blow dry your hair with hot air. You want to do it with cool air, because hot air kind of makes it tacky. It doesn't really dry as well. I'm just using this blow dryer that I already have at home. I don't even know what kind of blow dryer it is, but go ahead, plug your blow dryer in and start blowing the cool air over top of where you put the application until it is completely dry. Now in the process of this, I do like to go over it with a rat tooth comb just to make sure that it's drying flat, and to make sure that when it does dry, it still looks transparent and it doesn't really roll as much either. Once you're drying it and it's starting to dry a little bit, go back over it with some of the Got2b glue hairspray just to make sure that this cap is 150% laid. I use both my finger and the rat tail comb to kind of really make sure that it is completely gelled down. Once it is all dry, get yourself a pair of scissors, preferably hair scissors, but these are the only ones I had in my home at the time, and start cutting your wig cap. You want to cut all the places that the glue is not dried on, and all the places that's not as transparent, because those are the areas that we're really not worried about. And you're just going to cut all along the edge until you get to the top of where the transparent dried area is at. Now we're going to take those scissors and cut the ends of our little ears that we made a hole through. It's going to be a little different because you didn't really lay this part down. But this part really isn't that important to me, just because the most important parts is the places that I'm going to put my part. But you want to cut these areas so that you're able to do the same thing that you were able to do with the top of your wig cap. Now, if you can see, some of my hair is out, but that's fine because I'm going to show you how to lay it down. Basically, you're just going to stretch those little edge pieces all the way down and just do the same application process. You're going to add the Got2b glue or the Gorilla Snot over top of where that wig cap is on the edge piece, and then go over that again with the Got2b glue spray Same thing that you did before, just so that it lays down on your edges where like your ear is. You're also going to do the same exact thing on the top where you see some of the rolling pieces along your hairline. This right here is the Got To Be glue I was talking of. I just found it while I was doing my hair randomly, so I just decided to finish the rest of my hair with it because I do prefer this over Gorilla Snot. I just say use Gorilla Snot as like an option if like you have nothing else, but I do prefer this kind of Got To Be glue. And then I'm just going ahead and finishing up the rest of my head with this, laying down the edges and the top part of the wig cap, so that way I can have this frontal completely laid. Now back to the rat tooth comb, same thing. Just make sure that after you apply the Got To Be glue, you are pressing that rat tail comb to make sure that your wig cap is completely flat. You don't want any rolling pieces. You want to make sure that it's really blended in well with your skin. That way, when you do put on your wig, it's no like, I guess like lighter pieces that shouldn't be there, and it looks as transparent as possible. Now on the second step of the application, you want to blow dry your hair before you even put on the Got To Be glue spray. You want to put on the glue, put it on cool, use a rat tooth comb to make sure it's completely laid down, and then blow dry your hair. Once you are done and it is completely dry, go ahead with the Got To Be glue all over again and apply that to the edges of where the wig cap is. Now, after you're done that, take your Got To Be glue spray again and spray over top of where you just put the glue at. I know, guys, it's a real tedious process, but I promise you the end results will be worth it. You just want to go ahead and spray that all over where you just put the glue at, but this time it's just going to be a tad bit different on what you're going to do at the end, because you don't want this to dry all of the way. You want to get your blow dryer, blow dry it on cool, use a rat tail comb like you always do to make sure it's smoothed out and it is completely flat and nothing is rolling or lifting at all. And instead of you making sure that this is completely dry this time, you want to only blow dry it until it gets tacky, or like when you put your finger on it, it's a little bit sticky. That's tacky. All right, so now we're testing to make sure it's tacky. I'm gonna go ahead and touch the glue, make sure it sticks between my fingers. That's how you know that it's ready. Grab your lace front wig and then get it ready so that you can put it on your head. Now you want to take your wig and you want to place that on your head. Make sure when you do this, you do not put any part of the lace or the wig on that tacky area of your hair. There's a reason for this. I place mine in the middle of my head just so that it's not touching there, and then I kind of pull it forward to the point where it's not really touching it, but kind of I can get an idea of how I want it to be, because there's another process that you got to do before you completely lay this frontal down on the tacky areas of your hair. The second part of this would be getting some powdered foundation. I use whatever foundation is the one that I could use on my face. And you want to just go not on where the tacky area is, but right behind where that tacky area is with the Got To Be glue, and just apply it onto the wig cap. This allows you to have a natural looking lace front, and it makes it just look very clean, very nice. And you want to just go ahead and apply it all over the wig cap. Now that you're done that glue should be very tacky. So you want to pull up the lace frontal to the top of your hair and really start installing this. At this point, that thing is going to literally seal like glue. The moment it touches it, it's going to lay down before you even press it or anything. So I like to pull mine a little bit above where the line is from where I have the wig cap, just so it really gives it a natural look. But yeah, at this point, it should be really sticky, really tacky, and you just really want to line up where your lace front wig is with the top of the cap. I have a clip at the top of my hair, so I'm making sure that the clips are in my hair as well as on the sides. Now we're going to take our best friend, our rat tooth comb, and start kind of melding in the top of your lace front with where you have the tacky glue at. You want to make sure that you're doing it on top of the lace and not getting the hair into it. So kind of go in between like the hair and the lace to really make sure that you're pressing down firmly to make sure it's completely melded in. Also to make sure that that line where you cut your lace at doesn't look like a line, if that makes any sense. You want to kind of get it to meld in and look transparent the same way you did the wig cap. But yeah, just make sure that you don't get any hair in that at all, because it's just not going to look good. At this point, you want to make sure that those baby hairs are popping, boo. In this case, you want to make sure that you only use a little bit of hair, because a little does go a long way. You want it to look natural. You don't want the edges to be super thick. And yeah, just pull out like a little bit of hair. If you have like a spot that you might have over plucked or may look like a bald spot, you can use a little bit more hair, but I just suggest using as little as possible. Tie up your hair definitely, because the frontal part will definitely stick down, and kind of just separate the top of your hair and pull down the hair. Make sure that you hold the ends of your lace frontal cap, because they will definitely come up. Those are the hardest parts to secure. And yeah, just go ahead and start pulling your baby hairs out. I'm just applying a little bit got2b glue to the edges, just because when you do pull it back in a ponytail, because it's not completely dry, it does start to lift. Now go ahead, take your scissors and cut your baby hairs. I like to cut mine a little longer than what I really want it to look like, because when you start really forming your baby hairs, it will look a lot shorter. So do not cut it to the length that you want it to be at. Cut it just a tad bit longer, and then take some of the got2b glue and start gelling down your edges. After that, you want to take your rat tooth comb, start combing out your baby hairs, and then start swooping them and forming them in whichever way you want them to look. Once you got your baby hairs popping, make sure that you go ahead and grab your silk scarf, and you know what to do. Make sure that the edges of where the lace frontal is are completely laid down flat, and then tie your scarf on over top of your ears, because that's where the edges are going to be at. And make sure it's really tight and secure, so that way your baby hairs as well as the edges of your lace frontal are completely dried and laid down completely flat. In the meantime, while your edges are drying, this is the perfect time for you to style your hair however you want. If you have a straight wig, go ahead and start straightening it. I have this wet and wavy curly hair, so that's the look that I'm going for. So I'm just taking my spritz bottle and styling my hair like I normally would with any other body wave or curly hair, and just gonna start styling my hair while this is still drying. If you guys by any chance are wondering where I got this wig from, I'll place where I got it from down below. It's this place called Elegant Queen Official Store on AliExpress. I got it in 16 inches. It's the curly bob wig, and outside of it shedding a little bit, because it does shed, this holds a really nice curl. I wanted that Spanish mommy look, you know, with the loose curls, I guess I should say. They're not really that loose, but this is the look I was going for, and it gave me just that. I blow dried this and straightened it, and it still holds this curl. So for what it's worth, it's a pretty good wig for its price. And guys, I only paid $100 for this, so it's definitely worth it. Once I'm done doing my makeup and my hair dries, this is exactly what my lace frontal looks like. Like, what lace, boo? What lace? But I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, comment them down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future videos. See you next time.